Good morning. This is Mr. Gatch. I want to get straight into it. Big football news this weekend. Browns played. Pretty much everybody played. Talk of the town is between, you hear the most about right now is Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. Those are the two guys you hear a lot about. And I'm going to hit on that real briefly, but I'm going to hit some football stuff. Me being a Browns fan, I'm going to talk a lot about the Browns probably. But I'm going to go around and talk about a few things I saw or thought about this weekend. Number one, Baker Mayfield. I've heard it said on a lot of different stations by a lot of different people, the Panthers are going to play Baker Mayfield. And honestly, my opinion on him is the fact I think he's a decent player. I think the Browns should have held on to him. Just my opinion. I think they could have let the season start. We could have got more for him. But you know what? It is what it is. If he can get over himself, he could have been the starter over Watson. I think that'd be plausible for a part-timer. Then trade him and let him prove himself first. But, you know, it is what it is. My thoughts. But, anyway, the Panthers got him. Both Darnold in the first preseason game and Mayfield both did pretty well. Let's be honest. You don't trade for somebody of Mayfield's caliber, and I'm not saying he's great, I'm not saying he's not great. But you don't trade for him the way they did and expect him to be second string. I just don't see it. Game one against the Browns, it's going to be Baker Mayfield. I think he's a by far better player than Darnold. When he played for Oklahoma, I said that was an NFL-ready player. I think he has control problems in the locker room. He's proven that. But I think unquestionably he'll be the day one starter for the Panthers. Sam Darnold, I think he'll be a solid backup. Mayfield went to the Panthers, and the Panthers got him for a steal. To be honest, they did. Now, the big thing about Darnold is if Mayfield gets hurt, because he is injury prone, he'll try to fight through it, granted. But if he gets hurt, I don't see the Panthers being stupid enough to try to play Mayfield when he's injured. They saw what the Browns did. I just don't see it happen. And I think Darnold is more of the insurance policy for Baker Mayfield. And to be honest, I think that's the right move. So, they got a pretty solid 1-2 punch. Is Darnold as good as Mayfield? I don't think so. Is Darnold going to be a solid backup? I think he'll be more than worthy for it. So, there you go. Everybody throws so much tizzy on this team won, this team lost. It's preseason. Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares. They got to win. Woo. Preseason means nothing in the NFL. You're playing a bunch of backups and you're seeing what your backups can do. You're trying to figure out who's going to stay on the team. That's what preseason's all about. Get your starters in, let them get warmed up a little bit, put them in game situation, take them out. Let's see what we want to do with the rest of the team. That's preseason. Plain simple. Game 4, you never play your starters at all. Or very rarely. You're trying to figure out the final pieces of your roster. So preseason means nothing. Browns won. Who cares? Panthers, I believe, won. Don't remember. Who cares? Bengals lost. Don't care. Steelers, I don't remember. I do know that the Steelers quarterback situation, Mason Rudolph's not going to be their starter. I think he's proven to be immature. I think he's a third stringer with what they have. I think Trubisky has a thing to prove. So I think you're going to see him be better than what you expect from him. Clear-cut number one starter this year. I see Pickett taking over next year. Plain simple. Steelers, always fine. Always have a winning record. Like them or not, they usually have a winning record underneath Tomlin, or they're close to 500. Still, I give them they're going to be a threat to the AFC like normal. Ravens, no fears. I'm not a Ravens fan, I'm a Browns fan, but Ravens, that offense is threatening. That offense is scary. It always is. Since Lamar Jackson took over, that offense is scary. Bengals, you got pretty much the same starting team back and then a couple more pieces. That's going to be even better. They're going to be a threat. Browns, they've made the right decisions. Everybody's talking we need another quarterback. They picked up Rosen. Not a big fan. The big thing about the Browns, Josh Rosen, though, is they're not expecting him to be the starter. They're picking up Watson to be the number one player. I don't see him sitting out all season. If he does, he comes in next season at $1 million. And he starts his 5-season contract next year if he sits out all this year. I kind of want to see it. That'll give us almost $80 million in salary cap next year with all the free agents and everything else we got. Plenty of room to move if he sits out for the season. I don't think the Browns really care. Now, they are set up to win now, so I think they care in that aspect. Watson 1 for 5, 7 yards. Whoa, look out. He's being booed by everybody. Whoa. What do you expect? Browns aren't surprised. They didn't get him because of his off-the-field mannerisms. They got him because he's a player. He don't turn the ball over. That's why the Browns got him. Plain simple. Jacoby Brissett as a backup, knowing he has starting experience. They picked him up to back up to basically be the starter and the backup to Watson. I'm high on Brissett. A lot of people aren't. Rightfully so. He doesn't have the numbers. But the guy has thrown 37 TDs in his career and only thrown about 17 INTs. Our quarterbacks, on average, throw about 500. Mayfield's the first one that we've had that has actually thrown positive touchdowns to interception ratios and actually done pretty well in that category. So Mayfield was definitely an upgrade to what we've been playing with. I'm 500 on getting rid of Mayfield or keeping him. He was injury prone. Every other year he would have a really exceptionally good year, made the playoffs. Next year we sucked. First year he was in, he had a chip on his shoulder. He played really hard. Next year he was injured. Then it was the playoff year, then it was the year where he was injured again. So he's going to have another really good year this year. It's a contract year. He's going to play really good. Panthers are in good shape. But the Browns, we're going back to the Browns. And I'm going to hit a bunch of other NFL news that I know about. But I think Watson plays, he's rusty. He didn't play last year. He's got rust to get rid of. He's going to be suspended. He knows that. He has off-the-field distractions. You know he's not going to be playing solid for a while when he does play. But right now, the Browns brought him in to be an NFL non-turnover machine, to be able to be an impact player. And he's going to do that. No fears. Off-the-field issues, he's got things to work on. If he can get that figured out, I think he'll be fine. Everybody's making a big deal about, everybody's booing him. What do you expect? He is in there. The Browns got him for his NFL accruity. Got him for his ability. Plain simple. Let's keep it at that. Jacoby Brissett, again, played on Indianapolis. Right after Drew Lock proved he wasn't very good in Indianapolis. Was it because Drew Lock was not any good? I don't think so. He proved he can play. He's a baller. The problem you have with Drew Lock was the same problem that Jacoby Brissett had in Indiana, and that's very plain simple. They don't have that good of a team. Patriots, when he was with the Patriots, Dolphins, same way. You picked him up as basically a stepping stone to in a quarterback tandem. when you're rotating quarterbacks and trying to figure out who's your starter, and you keep rotating them throughout the season, trying to say, okay, you're not doing good, you're not doing good, you're not giving somebody a chance to really take over, you're not going to be good. Look at the Browns. They're known for that. Mayfield's the first time that we had a quarterback that was in there and stayed in there. Says Tim Couch. Sorry, I got to get a drink. So, Jacoby Brissett, I think, is undervalued. You watched them in New England. They have a smart game plan. They always do. At least they are known for that. Thank you. So you have Baker Mayfield starting Carolina week 1. Jacoby Brissett starting in Cleveland week 1. That's your matchup. The Browns have a lot of injuries on receiver. That's not good. Quarterback, a lot of injuries. A lot of people out right now. Reasons, personal. Myles Garrett, he's been sitting out the last couple of games. He's been off the field taking care of some issues or whatever the case. I don't know, but he's not been at practice. Whoa. Garrett's a force to be reckoned with every year. We have Jadeveon Clowney. I think we have an upgrade on our defensive tackles. Are they going to be great? I don't know. But we have an upgrade. So let's move on. I think Brissett's going to be the starter. I think he's going to be a lot better than people expect because he actually has a team around him. Steelers, Mitch Trubisky's, it's his team right now. Plain simple. Mason Rudolph, I'm surprised he's still on the team. Look at Seattle. Drew Lock in Seattle, I think he's going to be a sleeper. You got a fantasy team, I would say pick up Drew Lock. Drew Lock, DK Metcalf. Tear it up. I see it coming. Metcalf is that good. What else can we talk about? Let's see. We got Niners. They're talking about Garoppolo. Needs to be traded. You know what? Niners are carrying him. They're doing fine with him. He gets a lot of money, but honestly, he's a backup to Trey Lance. Keep him. Let him prove himself. Trade bait. Later in the season, somebody goes down with an injury. You have a trade bait. The stock goes up. I think that's what the Browns should have done with Mayfield. That is what the Niners, I think, is going to do with Garoppolo. Oh, he needs to really get traded. You know what? There's not a high demand for a lot of positions. Kareem Hunt, same thing. Not high demand. We are going in the team. Teams are already set up. Injuries are going to happen. The Browns, look at the Browns. They have a lot of injuries right now. Receivers, especially. Beckham is free agent. I think he's going to get signed eventually. I think the season might actually start, and then he'll get signed because somebody's going to go down that's a big-name player. And they need an impact player. Or it's going to get to the point where they need somebody to be an impact when it comes close to the Super Bowl, and he's going to come in. The problem with Odell Beckham is he has had a lot of injuries over the last several years, and it's all been the ACL tears. You get to a point you're just scared to play him because you know he might go down with injury. Is he an impactful player? Absolutely, but at some point those injuries are going to catch up to you. And I think the averages are starting to hit him where people are scared about his injury proneness. But none of the NFL teams worry me that lost or won because they're all playing backups. They're all trying to figure out their bench players. So, Browns picked up Josh Rosen. I'm not high on his list. The Bears, it's a mess. There's not much needs to be said about the Bears. They're a mess. Their offensive line's non-existent. Justin Fields, I think, is good. I don't think he gets the reps because he's on the Bears, and the Bears don't have an offensive line. Roquan Smith wants to be traded. I try to keep up with NFL. I love NFL. I love football. Hit people. Just beat each other up. Let's go. It's fun. But that's my thoughts on the NFL right now. Seahawks, Drew Lock, fantasy player, bring it on. DK Metcalf, you know he's going to tear it up. But the thing is, NFL is a very physical. Everybody can get injured real easy in that sport. Just look at the Browns' offensive line. One of the best lines in the NFL, and they're not the best because they keep getting hurt. That's not what preseason's all about. Preseason is to figure out your team, not to injure everybody before the season even starts, and that's what's going on. And I don't think it's just the Browns. It's a NFL league thing. Because you play a physical game where you beat each other up. It's what you do. I'm stuck behind a bunch of trucks that are definitely full, and I can't pass them. But yeah, that's my take on the NFL right now. Not a lot of big news. I think a lot of teams are figuring out what their bench players are and what their backups are, and trying to give some game situations to get everybody else accrued to being able to play. So it is what it is. But that's my take on the NFL right now. I wasn't planning on being this long a video, but that's my take. You guys have a good day and enjoy the NFL. That's where I'm at. Take it easy and be blessed. Like, share, and subscribe.